intended for mature audiences may contain language and content not suitable for younger listeners. And most of that content's coming out of Justin's mouth.
Have you guys heard of the Black Knight Satellite?
They're my favorite band.
Very excited about this. It actually is a band, and I want to listen to it. Actually, after we're done with this, I'm going to check it out and see if they're any good. I hope they're like a death metal band. Like a Swedish death metal band.
I hope they're a K-pop band.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be crazy.
One of the guys I work with is like obsessed with K-pop, dude. It's fucking weird.
Really?
But anyway. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah, it's a thing, man.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then there's like baby metal, which is weird as shit. But anyway.
Have you heard that? That shit, people.
It is fucking gross.
It's wild.
It's a fucking sham, and it's a shame, and it's disrespectful to actual metal fans like us. But anyway, back to the Satellite.
Hey,
right?
man, millions of people listen to it, so you can't really disrespect
millions
it.
of people watch dumbass shit on TV too. So
people listen to it. They're famous, and they're just saying.
I don't care. Anyway, so the Black Knight Satellite, right? You all heard of this? No? Maybe? No?
No.
Okay.
Explain it to me like I'm 6 years old.
Layman's terms?
Sure. You
It's
completely
pretty-
missed the Office reference, but, that's fine.
I did miss the reference. God damn, I'm off tonight, boys.
Yeah.
I'm off tonight. My brain's fried from work. Anyway, so it's this fucking like conspiracy theory about this object that was seen and photographed by a crew that was building the ISS back in the 80s or 90s, I believe. Anyway, but the thing is supposed to be, according to theorists, ancient aliens. No, but apparently the satellite.
We're gonna tie
supposedly
this back to
the satellite
second
is
episode.
13,000 years old, right? So what like caught my eye about it, because I've seen a bunch of shit about this thing, and it just looks like space debris. Not gonna lie.
Okay,
But the fact that it, what?
No, go ahead. Continue. I have questions, but
Yeah, that's fine. Just give me a second to like throw the point out.
yeah, of course.
But yeah, so it circles around the Earth on a near polar orbit. Only a few satellites do that, and the ISS pretty much just goes around the equator. So like the near polar orbit, it's going from south to north, and just like over the axis of the Earth, pretty much, which is super fucking weird. But that's like literally, I looked it up earlier, and the only reason that a satellite would do that is to get like full coverage of the entire planet. So to bring that back in,
but
hold on, go ahead.
No, I was saying because you said like it looks like space debris, and I just saw a picture of it. It does kind of look like space debris, but if it's just space debris, it would get pulled into our atmosphere from gravitational pull and burned up. Like
exactly.
That's why satellites have to have some sort of thruster to keep them in orbit, so they're not pulled into our gravitational
into the
field.
atmosphere.
Well,
especially when you're doing that kind of orbit. Space debris doesn't orbit like that. Like you need to have constant thrust in order to stay out of the.
You know what?
Atmosphere.
If anyone's listening, I volunteer to go up there to just give it a little push to see if it is space debris.
We're probably on the wrong frequency anyway.
You just give it a little push. Just give it a little push to see if it is. But the question I ask is, they said it's a little bit over 13,000 years old, right? How the hell did they determine that?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I do have some evidence about like, so it also relates to like Nikola Tesla. So
here we go.
I know, here we go. We're getting
this
deep.
should be good.
So apparently Nikola Tesla unwittingly discovered the alien transmissions from the object in 1889. While working in his Colorado laboratory, Tesla had perfected a highly sensitive wireless receiver and received a series of unexpected electrical signals. Tesla interpreted them as a series of numeric codes and believed them to be highly intelligent beings on Mars. This also was more so-called evidence came in 1927 from a Norwegian engineer who, while conducting experiments in radio transmissions and stuff like that, picked up a series of signals that signal echoes. that came back 3 seconds after the transmission had ended. Apparently, the signals have been observed but have never been fully explained, and they're called long delay echoes. So, yeah.
So, like, what is a long delay echo, though? Is that like we're shooting something at it and it's bouncing back?
It's a reply of the same exact signal. If it was bouncing off something, it would be the same signal.
Wait, what? If
Wait,
it was bouncing
okay,
off
so-
something, it wouldn't be the same signal bouncing back to you?
It would be different because it'd be like more delayed and like, I don't know, dude. I'm not a fucking. That's what it says. Okay, don't question that. All right.
Okay.
It was more like
He's
actually,
just
I didn't even
reading
look
what
that
it
up.
said, man. Like
These signals, yeah, whatever. I didn't look that part up, but yeah, apparently then in 1954, the New York Times published a claim by UFO researcher Donald Kehoe, awesome last name, that a Pentagon source had confirmed the existence of 2 quote-unquote natural satellites orbiting Earth. Obviously, the government denied it, but still very interesting. Because what does the government not deny?
well, what if it's just one of those kind of like, I mean, this is just me shooting it out there. If it got caught like literally at the right spot
What do you mean?
in the orbit and it just kind of rotates like that.
It would still fall into the Earth at some point.
Not really, because like if it's a push-pull between the Earth's gravity and the Moon's gravity, like it could
not-
just stay there.
That's
it
not
could
how
just,
it works.
yeah.
though. That's not how it works. The ISS constantly needs to be repositioned because it gets dragged down into the lower or the higher atmosphere of the Earth. Like,
Well, that's like
but
the-
it has to be repositioned.
So
Huh?
why don't they just try to push it out of the fucking orbit just to see
Because
if
then
it
they have to
is,
admit
like,
that it exists.
That boom.
NASA, if you're listening, put me up there. I'm willing to go right now.
Nick's right. You saw that Spaceman movie. You're ready to go into space by yourself
yeah,
now.
yeah.
This
Put
man's
me out
fucking
there.
on this shit. But yeah, so like space junk eventually falls into the Earth, right? Like it'll circulate
Well,
for a long time, but not 13,000 years. Actually, I don't know how they got that number.
How, that's,
Yeah, how did they
that's-
get that number?
how
Yeah,
did they
go
get
back
that
to
that.
number?
I'm not sure.
Let's go back to that number.
Go
But we're
back
talking
to that,
about
please.
1899 with Tesla.
Okay, that's still
Who-
not 13,000. So where
It's
the hell
not.
did they get that number?
It's not, but Tesla was a goddamn genius who pretty much got canceled by the government because he figured out free energy for the entire world.
Okay,
Like,
so
that's
how does
facts.
that relate to? Okay, but how does that relate to a supposedly 13,000?
Because he was obsessed with radio transmissions and shit like that. And
But-
he got a mysterious signal, which, if he interpreted it as numeric code, which would be a pattern, then there's no way I'm doubting that he misinterpreted that shit. You know what I mean?
Wait.
And he said it was from Mars, but there's no way he got a
Okay,
transmission
okay.
from Mars.
I'm not doubting that. I am doubting the age of this satellite.
I know. God damn it. I wasn't prepared.
like,
I fucked it. I fucked it.
I was filling
No,
time
I-
until
I
could
read
find
like
that part
the
of
first
it.
half of the article.
that's the thing. Like, I just 13,000 years old is
Okay, I
It's
got
like the
you.
Stone Age.
pretty old. Like,
Yeah, it's like the Stone Age.
We don't know exactly what it looks like. We haven't been up down in space to study it.
So I
like, how
got
can
you
we
here.
record a date
So
that it was 13,000
1973's
years old.
So 1973, science fiction writer Duncan Lunan originated a theory that
Duncan Noonan.
the Black Knight satellite was born. Told the magazine Spaceflight that a 13,000-year-old UFO orbiting the Earth was to blame for the bizarre sighting and signals. He claimed to have decoded a message and said they were instructions from an alien race on a double star named Epsilon Butis.
Sweet name.
Epsilon Butis is also my new porn name.
Yes, dude. Yes. Epsilon Dickus.
Shout out Duncan,
Yeah.
where were you at? And if you're still alive, buddy, thank you for that knowledge.
Yeah.
It was 1977. What do you mean? He might not be, RIP possibly, but
Depends when he was born.
I mean, those guys ain't young discovering that shit.
No, they're not. But they also had like
Exactly.
vague technology, and now you don't ever hear about the fucking thing.
No,
Even though we have
'cause
superior technology now that could easily
people
pinpoint
shut
it.
them out.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll find out, right? We'll find out if they're just studying us, and
I hope so.
the aliens are gonna pop out of the ocean, or they're gonna come out from the underneath Denver airport. We don't know. We'll find out here in a little bit, because that's just how it seems like it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, aliens are fucking coming. It's happening.
Aliens are coming, man. Like
They're
it's
fucking
just
coming.
a matter of time, dude. Like
No, they're
you know,
just
the
waiting for
lizard
us to destroy ourselves. That's pretty much it.
and then they're just gonna
It's
come
like,
down.
why we need to come
swoop
down
us
and have an invasion and look at these motherfuckers sit up here killing themselves?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
There's
literally.
no point. You don't need to. Just let's destroy ourselves, then take all of our resources.
And then it's gonna
And
be the
that-
4 of us against the entire alien invasion. Y'all ready for this? And then if Taylor's alive, we'll bring him back in here. But
That's why we're
Might
gonna
be on
send
the toilet.
Nick up there to attack first.
yeah,
Maybe-
Nick's
oh,
going to
NASA,
space.
you
Attack first.
NASA, if you listening, that's for you. Send me up there. Just
Bro,
touch
maybe
this little
Walt
rock.
Disney, maybe Walt Disney's
Maybe
from
I'll
the
come back with
satellite.
superpowers. You don't know that. If I touch that rock and I'm just like all of a sudden like Metallic Man or something, I don't know. Like
Oh, I'm
Metallic
sorry.
Metallica,
Wait,
man.
fucking
Metallica.
I'll bite him.
Rock and roll.
hold on. Hold on. If we're sending anyone, we got to send Cooley because Cooley's going to go up and touch it, and suddenly it's going to have a fever for no reason.
Yes.
There it is.
Coolies are
We-
kryptonite
Hey,
to
I
the
saw
aliens.
the invasion at that point. Right?
Yeah,
He's
coolies
just
are
gonna- he's just
kryptonite
gonna
for
go
them.
like, no.
Stop it. You stop it.
What is this human?
Or
Oh
to
my
relate
God,
it back
dude.
to our first topic, Walt
We have
Disney
never
could be
encountered.
the secret fucking alien. That's why he's frozen. Maybe
Oh.
he came down
He
from
could
the
be.
spaceship, created Disney World and Disneyland, and then fucked off and was like, freeze me.
So what you say the Epcot Center is actually a spaceship?
Boom.
Oh.
There it is. There it is.
Boom.
That's a possibility right there.
One day it's just going to take off.
Okay.
Could you imagine? The world
We'll be
just
sitting up
freaking
here.
out at that point.
So great.
We
Like,
were
oh, we
right.
predicted that back in 2024.
Yes.
Yep, that was us.
Nailed it.
Where, where's
that
my old
shit.
phone?
Yeah.
Let me pull up my old Spotify.
Where's my non-holographic phone?
Where's my where's my stone phone at that point?
With the
Like,
stone phone. Where's my stupid iPhone?
yeah, at that point. Especially with just a little sidetrack right here, especially what they're doing with the what is it? The glasses, the Apple Pro Vision,
The Vision.
the Vision.
It's called
I mean,
Apple
I just
Vision.
kind of saw it, but like, I don't know if I'm gonna pay, $4,000 for that. But that looks kind of cool. But I
You're
want to
gonna
walk
walk
around
around
in
with
public?
that.
You
Hold
can't
on,
watch 3D porn on
hold on.
3D porn doesn't work on it. That's
Hey,
the
man.
big complaint.
Hey man, the porn industry leads the tech industry, okay?
100%.
They
That's
adapt
true.
to the porn industry. Like that's a
And-
fact.
And the Apple Glass does not have the right processor to watch 3D porn, so you can't watch 3D porn on the Google Glasses thing.
All you need is a
You know-
full bodysuit. Sorry.
When they start bringing in like the what is it, the Ready Player One, that kind of bodysuit, the world's over.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
The
I'm not gonna
world's
lie,
over.
the
I would
world's
do it.
over.
I would try it.
Ain't no, I would try it, of course.
I would
Are you
absolutely
kidding
try
me? Absolutely.
Are you
Yeah.
dumb? You'd have to be
You know, in
crazy
real life-
not to try it.
Yeah. It's like, shoot me.
I'm real good.
I want to.
I'm real good at Mario
Where's
Kart.
the keys?
I'm not very good at any other games.
What'd you say?
Man.
I said I'm pretty good at like Mario Kart 64, but after that, I'm terrible at all video games. So
Oh God, Peter would be the first to go.
yeah, I'm not making it, you guys.
I think you could. I think you could. You'd be like our sacrificial lamb.
You adapt. You adapt.
Thanks.
You adapt to it. And then Chris will come and save you with his, powers of like reverse fevers.
His flu powers. His fever powers.
I'm like, Cooley, I'm cold, I'm shivering. Give me the
I
fever.
got you, bro. I got you.
I got you, bro.
Like, oh crap.
It's
now
like
I
the
have fever.
superpower.
Just one touch.
That's amazing.
Oh my
That's
God,
amazing.
that would be so wild. I mean, let's be for real. Like at some point or no, I mean, I know we're getting a little sidetracked here, but like at some point or another, like it might not be in our generation or like even my kids' generation, but like that's gonna be around, and it's gonna like if we don't destroy ourselves before that, that's gonna destroy humanity, as people are just gonna be stuck inside all
Right.
day, every day,
Oh,
as they kind of
1,000,000%.
already are.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, dude. I was
Absolutely.
gonna say,
I mean,
yeah.
like, Kid,
COVID was like a
everybody stuck to
sneak preview.
TVs. Like, yo, that's the reason why they put out binge episodes on Netflix. Man, they just want to make sure you're sat down in one position
Yeah,
and just
dude. That's what. Yeah,
consuming,
exactly.
just being a constant consumer.
and then they're literally gonna place you in like the meta world or whatever it's called, and you're
Well,
gonna be
that
living
shit
in all.
crashed. Did you hear about
shit,
that?
what is
The metaverse.
That Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
and
he
some
took
other
that idea
shit
from
went
somebody
down.
else and was like, "Oh, we're gonna run with this," and they had no fucking
no.
clue what they were doing.
No, I'm talking about like it all crashed like this morning.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, like the whole Meta, whatever they control. I don't. It's Facebook, Instagram,
Who's in
and
there?
some other shit. I don't know what it is. But Meta's just a company name at this point. But yeah, it all
Yeah.
crashed earlier.
But no,
today.
but like who? I mean, are there people actual users that
Yeah,
are?
are there
Like,
people actually using it
that's-
in order for it to crash? That's how like we heard about it because I thought that
It's
thing was
gotta be.
dead.
I don't know. It
thought that
feels
was
like
done.
Meta is just like a corporate name for an umbrella company. That
Yeah, I mean,
owns
Facebook is
and
Meta now.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Because I never really understood. I know it was a huge failure, but
but the
That's such a-
metaverse was a whole thing too. That was supposed to be like a
but
virtual
That's
reality
what it
world.
was.
that
Yeah,
you
that's
would
Yeah,
what
live
it,
in.
that
that's
verse-
what I'm
that's-
saying. But, like, who was in it? Like, who
We
was in it to
can't-
know that it
yeah.
actually did crash? Because I thought that was like a dead, like,
We characters and Roblox
no,
players.
what I'm saying is Facebook and Instagram went down for like
Oh.
30 minutes today. Yeah.
I know, like a year and a half
something
ago,
called
same thing happened.
Threads. I
That
don't know what that
crashed.
is. Huh?
I know, like a year and a half ago, fucking all of it crashed too, and it was literally like end of the world for a minute, where everyone was like, "I can't get into Instagram. Why can't I get into Instagram?"
I didn't even notice. They ain't got that shit. But
The people that work don't really notice that shit from the 8 to 5ers. Like,
yeah, bro.
no
come
shit,
on.
right?
Like,
Like, who said? I got no time for that shit.
oh my
Yeah.
god, I can't get in my Instagram.
well,
Oh,
it's like
no.
when AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile all went down last week. You remember that?
Well, that's different
Yeah,
though.
that was
That's
wild.
different.
That didn't affect me at all.
Oh, that affected
No,
me,
it was
that
only
affected us
That
at
affected
work.
you, Chris?
Yeah, it
No, I
affected
don't-
us. Like, dude, people were calling up pissed. They were like, we're like,
no. It was only.
there's
I
nothing
thought
we
it
can
was
do about
only.
it. This happened.
It was only AT&T that went down.
No,
It was through, they
It
said
was
it
a
was like a
lot.
solar flare or something like that.
it was
So-
not a
Something
solar
like that.
flare.
So, but
A
I
solar
think
flare
I think
can't
it
Because I
was-
remember that because I got a call at work and somebody's like, "Yeah, like her phone just stopped working." I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." And then
so
it turned out I'm pretty sure it was just AT&T. Sorry, Peter. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, you're good. So I think it was AT&T towers went down, but then like
Yeah.
T-Mobile and a couple other places also use AT&T towers. So
Mm.
like a
Oh.
ton of their customers were affected because they're just using the same towers
Well,
for it.
Verizon definitely went down, and most of the infrastructure, like you said, is AT&T and Verizon. So all these
Right.
like smaller, like Mint Mobile, Cricket, all them fucking things went down too because they use that infrastructure. So
Yeah.
there was probably a dozen cell phone companies that went down during that time.
Yeah, and that's. I mean,
It's
that
just
can be
wild,
scary
bro.
at times. Like
I
that's.
guarantee you that was a hack.
Or was it
We probably
the
will
Black
find out.
Knight satellite fucking sending a message blocking all that shit? Tester.
Bring it back.
Okay, so can we stay on that topic for a second? Like, if there was like an EMP, or like if supposedly like all that shit does get wiped out, how the hell is anyone gonna contact anybody? Nobody uses a landline anymore. Because I was like,
Radio.
kind of. Do you have a
Wait.
radio?
That would knock it out.
Everything gets knocked out. How the
Except-
hell do you get in contact with anybody? You don't
So-
lit the fires at
shit.
Amandir and wait for Gondor to come save you or anything like that. Like,
Nice. Very well done.
but I'm just saying, like, that low key is scary as hell. Like,
Okay, first-
all of a sudden you're shut out from everybody outside. Like, that's a
Bro.
scary thought.
An EMP, if that were to happen on a large scale, it'd have to be insanely coordinated. Because one EMP cannot take out a city. It might take out like a block. Like that's it. Like the radius
Well-
of that shit might be like a couple of miles, unless
it
you
also
make like a
depends-
massively powerful one. But
It also depends on like where it's set off. So like if you set off an EMP in like the upper atmosphere where you're not going to have nearly as much gravity, you're not going to have nearly as much problem, you could take out a lot of satellites with it, which would affect way more shit down on Earth.
So,
like it just, if you
yeah.
set it off in like a city block, you're going to take off out like, a couple city blocks with it.
So theoretically, if you set off a nuke in the upper atmosphere, it causes an EMP.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same process.
Yeah.
It's a huge electrical force. But like I said, that would not crush a continent. You know what I mean? That
No,
wouldn't
it
take
wouldn't.
the
But I'm
entire-
just like hypothetically speaking, if it was like a worldwide EMP, like it's.
Oh yeah, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so can I
yeah.
tell you,
I'm like,
Like,
Nick, save
sometimes-
yourself. If you're in the
Some-
building.
Zombie
Sometimes I
apocalypse,
watch, like,
baby.
sometimes I watch like prepper shows, and
So do
almost
I.
like
I love them.
every prepper show, they're always like, and this is we got these Faraday cases to put our cell phones in case there's an EMP and blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, if there's an EMP, your cell phone's not going to work. Like, doesn't matter that the Faraday case saved the cell phone from it. The entire network is fucked for it. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And
the Faraday case,
time, every single time they're like, no, we got to save the cell phones. We got to save this stuff. And I'm like, none of that stuff will, like, your computer and your cell phones aren't going to work.
So your computer might work. I feel like there's like an insulated like network somewhere that the government can still talk to itself. You know what I mean? That could like if you insulate enough.
You need a landline for that. Like
you can insulate fiber, like the Atlantic line that runs from the U.S. to Europe that contains the fiber. That shit wouldn't be affected by an EMP. It's way too far underwater, and it's insulated by like a foot of fucking rubber.
But your bigger thing is going to be like servers and everything going down and the access. You have like the infrastructure would still be there. You would just need something to actually host on to connect with.
Yeah. You'd also have to know how to do that. Like that's the problem because you can't. There's not going to be Wi-Fi. Like you got to find a direct line somewhere to connect to it. Like you're going to have to find a
modem that's still working to actually dial in where you're dialing to. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It might actually, but I mean, like, I don't know. It's fairly possible. Same shit with the solar flares that you were bringing up before. I think, didn't you say that, Chris?
Yeah, the solar. I mean, like a decent sized solar flare would definitely knock out power for pretty much like could do it for the entire world.
Yeah, it'd have to be insanely powerful. Yeah. Like the whole theory about the solar flare for the AT&T network and the Verizon outage. That's not what happened. I feel like somebody unplugged the wrong cable or some shit.
Something far more simple.
Like some new tech was like, this is the right one. Yeah. Bro, that happened at AWS one time. Apparently somebody unplugged one cable and brought down the entire East Coast.
And
I'm like, I was like, are you fucking serious? That's redundancy.
Can you imagine calling tech support? They'll be like, well, is it plugged in? Of course it's plugged in.
Exactly.
No, never mind, it's not plugged in.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Did you press the power button?
It's like, yeah, well, turning it off brought down the whole East Coast. So should I turn it back on now? Yes.
I think that's probably a good idea. Let's bring everybody back up to speed.
It's like there's one fucking router controlling all of the network on the coast. Like,
it's like, Bob, just put your key card on your desk on the way out, please.
It was like some 21-year-old intern who was like, my phone's almost dead. I'm just going to unplug this power strip and plug my phone in for a minute.
Don't do that.
It's been great hanging out with you guys. Peace, love. Say thank you every once in a while. Justin Baby Boy, cue the damn music. We out, motherfucker.